Just in general, I don't really like this thing in general. But I do kind of want to rant about AI a little bit. Because I don't really think people in general really understand what's really about to happen. Like, and I don't think people really like understand the gravity of what exactly is gonna happen. Like, we're like, when people explain AI and things of that nature, they kind of explain it in terms that are just really confusing. So where people can't really grasp the importance of how much we're actually going to use it. Like, it's really genuinely to the point to where we are genuinely going to have grandchildren marrying AI, and it's not going to be weird. There are genuinely going to be people that get down on one knee for robots that were programmed specifically for them, or just that are programmed to interact with that specific person. Because I'm assuming my grandparents, by the time we're grandparents, like I'm 24 right now, by the time I'm like 50, 60, probably like 70, like that's gonna be a whole different world. At that point, we'll be all living to, there'll be a majority of people in my generation that have artificial body parts that just work, and it'll be fake transplants that were made in the lab. So it'll be a completely different landscape. But it's like, this is the equivalent of to when the internet was invented, but times that by like 1,000. Like, for the people who aren't genuinely trying to understand what AI is going to do and how it's going to happen, it's like, everyone who talks about if I could go back in time, I would invest everything that I would have into Bitcoin. Well, that's what AI is going to do. And I'm not even talking about the AGI or the AI superintelligence that literally Mark Zuckerberg, as of like a week ago, is paying literal programmers $100 million pay packages for a billionaire that has hundreds of billions of dollars to come out and say he's going to pay people $100 million. People, $100 million pay packages to help him work on an AI superintelligence. That's a big fucking deal. And as of right now, the climate is it's going to get rid of people that don't know how to use AI. And so right now we're in the climate of AI is going to replace people who don't know how to use it, but they still need to be programmed. And the difference between regular AI, the AI that we have right now, like the ChatGPTs and the Geminis and all that, it still needs a programmer. What they're working on right now is they're working on an AI that does not need a programmer. They're working on it. They're building AI right now. So they've already made the AI, right? The AI that we use every day that just makes our lives easier. They've already made that. They're done. That was weird. Yeah, but they pretty much finished that. So now it's just a race to create the AI that doesn't need a programmer. And at that point, I think we're all cooked. I have no plan for that at all. But because I don't even know, at that point it will just be, I don't even know what'll be left. To be honest, at that point, I think everybody will just be working on telepathy or some shit. I have no clue what the humans are going to be focused on at that point. But it's always just going to come back to how you are going to be leveraging it in your life and using it to monetize. Like, when people really say, like, there's going to be one company building, where there's just going to be a founder, and the rest of everything that's done is just going to be AI. But typically, right now, whenever people talk about that, all AI can do right now is just do what the billionaires have already done. They just done it with people. So the biggest billionaires on the planet, all they have done that have separated them from the regular people is they have mastered building systems, but they have just done it with people. So they built processes. So Facebook is a system. All of the biggest companies in the world are just systems that they figured out how to run. If they were to leave, those companies would run completely fine because there's a system of people running it. Right now, we're in a place where AI can do all of those systems and not have and the only person that needs to run it is just the founder. So in that case, you need to understand how you can use it to make you better as a person. And it's like, and if you don't, right? If you choose to just wait and really don't learn, whenever it starts to really take real world implications, it's gonna be like everyone is gonna have an iPhone and you have a pager. In a world where everyone uses an iPhone, you still have a pager. That's gonna be the level of disparity, where it's not even like a track phone where you have a flip phone. No, you're not gonna. It's gonna be like you're literally using a pager, where like you called somebody on a pager, and you just had to meet up at a place and talk to them, but everybody else had an iPhone. And then I'm not gonna talk about VR because that adds a whole nother element. Because the phones are also going away too. It's gonna be like Black Mirror, but we're still like 5-6 years from literally the earliest big transition. But we can already see it with the Facebook Meta glasses and Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse that everybody thinks failed, but really it's just Mark Zuckerberg is a planner of 10-20 years because he has billions and trillions of dollars, so he can plan for the next 30 years because he doesn't plan on dying soon. And Mark Zuckerberg is young too. I think Mark Zuckerberg is only like 45. How old is Mark Zuckerberg? He's young as fuck. How old is Mark Zuckerberg?
Mark Zuckerberg is 41 years old.
Mark Zuckerberg is 41. So when we talk about people that are planning for the future, he doesn't care. In 20 years, he'll be 61. So it doesn't matter if it takes him 20 years. He doesn't give a fuck. He'll still be around. That's still generally young. He's only halfway through his life, technically, if we go based on the average lifespan. You shouldn't be afraid of it. You should be afraid of it if you're not using it, or if you're not trying to figure out how to use it. So, in a sense of just using it to get smarter, so in your everyday life, if you know you have this certain amount of paycheck every 2 weeks, you can literally tell it, hey, I'm trying to accomplish this. I have this birthday coming up in 2 months. My paycheck is this 2 weeks. These are my bills, and these are the things that I have to spend my money on. How much money, how should I divide up this money so that I can still have room to buy a present for this person's birthday? Or I'm trying to save up for a vacation and I want to go in a year. How much money do I need to allocate per paycheck to make this an actual reality? I think that's just a simple example, but you can get super in depth to it, to where you can literally be like, if you want to learn a new skill, you can literally say, hey, I wanted to learn this. I want to learn how to play drums. What would be my plan going from someone who knows zero about playing drums to a world-renowned drummer? and it'll literally chart out a whole plan specifically to you and your time. You can literally say, I have 30 minutes every day to work on it. I can give 30 minutes every day or an hour every week to work on it. And it'll literally chart out a course, and it'll give you a time period of how long it's going to take you to reach certain levels. That's how advanced it is now. And just, it is a chance for the people who use it. It is a chance for you to actually launch a career. It is a chance for you to take advantage of genuinely putting your family in a better financial position, because once all of those people at the bottom once they're no longer needed, the people at the top, like, it's just gonna be like if you were a manager. Like, if you were a manager at Walmart, imagine if all of the team leads and employees got fired, and the only people that are left are just managers. That's how it's gonna be until the AI, super intelligence, and AGIs are invented. Then at that point, I have no plan for that. We're all fucked. But I do genuinely think we're actually like 10, 15 years away from a super intelligence. Unless all the big companies in the world and governments all kind of like team up and they just say, we're all going to throw our money at this, then it might come quicker. But I only say that because there's certain hardware and technology that's going to require that has not been created, invented, and we just don't have the computing power for it yet. But if you weren't already thinking about getting a background in tech and you just kind of wanted to go in a certain career, whether or not the main thing right now, the only things that are going to be the big things are things that require a real world experience. So like things like skydiving is never going away, because people are going to want to do that even more, because they're going to yearn for a real life experience. But instead of it only costing however much skydiving costs now, it's going to be twice or 3 times or 4 times the price, because it's going to be that much more valuable. So if you're smart in whatever field that you want to go in, or even for the people who don't know what field they really want to pursue, I would just, on a basis level, start understanding how they can implement it in their lives right now, today. Like, even down to like your personal relationships. If you had an argument with somebody, or you and somebody disagrees, but you maybe want to work on how you a better way to communicate something to that person. You can literally ask the AI, hey, this is what we had a disagreement about. These are some of the things that I said. What is a better way that I can say this so that they can understand it and it can help me get my point across easier for them? It'll literally do that and break it down in however many words you want it to be broken down in. But it's almost like for the people that like with content, like everyone worries about what ideas and videos to post, and then that's why those first videos suck. And then as you start posting and thinking about more and more ideas start to come and flow to you. It's gonna be like that. So at first you're not gonna know what to do, and but what makes AI unique is you can literally ask it, hey, this is my situation, these are my interests, what are some good content ideas? And you can use that as a basis, and then based off of those things, and as you do those things, more and more ideas will float to you. That's just how it works. But you can use that, you can turn that experience into a better way, and bonus points if you learn how to use it to code. So if you can learn how to use it to build tools and systems for your life or for the things that you're solving, like for instance, I like to make music, but I'm not a producer. I don't know how to make beats at all, and nor do I want to learn how to make beats. But I also understand as an artist that I'm not the only person who doesn't know how to produce and also has to spend 3, 4, 5, 6 hours listening to beats that are all ass. What happens when somebody creates a tool that says, hey, hook this up to YouTube, connect this to your BeatStars account, and give me beats that you have already select all the beats that you have already listened to that you would really like, and based off of those beats, I'm gonna go find you some more beats that you have a higher chance of liking. And boom, now you just solved half of the artist's problem of developing a sound. Just because of that's how. But you're only gonna get to that point if you start thinking about like that type of stuff. It's not gonna come from you just sitting down. Like, you actually have to be in it. You actually have to use it. You actually have to grind with it. So but I think the people who use it properly are gonna get rich as fuck, or at least aren't gonna get left behind. And the people who don't know how to use it are going to be the ones with the pagers, and everyone else has the iPhones. And I think they're going to be left with nothing. You're going to be on that universal basic income whenever it comes, and you have no job. And the only exception for that are the people who either own an influencer that's famous, like an AI influencer, or they are somebody that's famous. Like, you don't have to be Drake level famous, but like the people that have an audience of 100,000 people, or the people who own like a Pokemon, or own even like the only things that are going to be left at like the highest levels are going to be IP, intellectual property, or NIL, so name and likeness. And the people who don't, like, what happens when, like, it's already changed? Google has already changed it, so they no longer use, for the longest time, a majority of people only used Google. Now that has literally changed to, you go to any room where most people search shit up from, and 9 times out of 10 they'll tell you they use ChatGPT or they use Gemini. And this is the first time that the biggest companies in the world were actually challenged, which is why immediately, you ever wondered why as soon as OpenAI came out a long time ago, as soon as OpenAI had all those headlines and had everything going, what was the first thing that Google did? They released Google Gemini, their AI, because they understood what was happening. So you either got two choices. You can either ride the train into oblivion, or you can hop on the train and prepare yourself for the new Bitcoin. Those are your only two options. Bonus points if you work on figuring out how to monetize VR. Because I don't think social media is going away. I think eventually we're not gonna have phones. I think eventually no one is gonna own a phone. I think it's all gonna be some sort of virtual reality. Whether we go Black Mirror vibes and we just got that little bitty circle that we put on our, like, if y'all ever seen the Black Mirror where they put the 2 circles on their shit and it transfer them to another reality, whether it's that or if it's just glasses and it just projects into the world. I'm not sure what it's gonna be. Maybe it'll probably start out that way until we develop the tech. that provides otherwise. But you can't afford to not think forwardly. Like, you can't afford to. If for the people who genuinely want to get ahead, or who genuinely have dreams and goals and things of that nature, AI is going to, whatever your interests are, not even just hobbies, or when genuinely whatever your interests are as far as like career wise or things like that, AI is going to either open the door for you and make it a lot easier for you to dominate, or it's going to make the gap bigger for you if you don't want to use it. Like, it's inevitable. So you can either put your head in the sand and ignore it, or you can decide to use it to take over whatever industry or field that you're playing.